Another week gone by, another successful Switch 2 exclusive launching with Hyrule Warriors. Everyone's playing it right now and they seem to be enjoying it. I'm real glad this was my first Warriors game. I had to give it a chance, and I'm really surprised about how tight the combat feels and how well done the gameplay loop is. Kirby Air Riders demo was solid as well. I just want that game to come out now, and I hope the online features are vast, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's just a really good time in general to be a Nintendo fan, a good time to own a Switch 2. Metroid's getting dope trailers. Everyone's just enjoying the games, except for the Switch 2 haters, of course. Those losers online, desperate to exaggerate every fabric of news or to downplay each and every record broken, are just starting to run out of time at this point with the Switch 2 grifting, And it's not really too surprising to me, because most false narratives that can be debunked with, common sense never really last too long. But I think in this case, it's getting ignored because people are just buying the system and finding out for themselves that a lot of the information and conversation online about the system, especially from people that don't have one, like this nigga Nintendine or whatever the fuck, just aren't aligning with the reality at the end of the day. A lot of the Switch 2 is trash, and Nintendo fan support anything, came from losers, yes, but it really banked on people either not being around during the Wii U days or just too young to really remember how that went. Quality games and a high amount of them is how you ensure that a system is successful, period. The Wii U didn't do that, and Nintendo suffered a lot because of it. They learned a real valuable lesson real quick. If they want to make it in this industry, they gotta bet on themselves, not using third party as a crutch, not using the most powerful console ever made as a selling point. They needed to provide value to users past just another box that has prettier graphics. That's how we ended up with the Switch. And the saying that Nintendo fans really just buy anything really kind of pisses me off, because that's so far from the truth. They don't just buy whatever Nintendo throws at them. See that with games like Drag X Drive, and again, the entire Wii U generation. We had almost 4.5 years of proof to look at to debunk that statement in its entirety. Everyone can see this stacked holiday lineup that we have so far, and we're seeing the amazing sales of the Switch. Oh, why do you Nintendo fans want the system to sell well? You don't get anything for it. Well, first off, what do you get if the system doesn't sell well? Like less competition in the industry, another Xbox situation? Like, I'm convinced a lot of these people are working with half of a brain, honestly, because what benefit does anyone in the industry get if Nintendo and their new system doesn't sell well? I just don't understand that. The more successful the system is means that more publishers and more developers are going to bring over their games for the users that want to play them on the Switch 2. It's very simple. Wii U sold like trash, so there was little to no incentive to bring more third-party games over to the platform. We're seeing the complete opposite happening this generation. First-party games are launching very frequently and at a very high quality. Third parties are quick to get their games ported over and announced over to the system, and it's only been the first couple of months. Wait until next year pops off. We're going to see even more of that. That just means more games of more variety and of higher quality are going to be available on the Switch 2 platform for the users to enjoy. That's been happening ever since the console came out, and for people that call themselves gamers, you guys seem to have a lot of animosity and issue with that. I kind of feel like that's a self-report. I don't know, that's just me. But they really are running out of time. The sales are looking crazy. 10 million shipped or sold. I really don't give a damn what you want to call it. At the end of the day, those consoles are going to leave those store shelves, and they're going to be in the hands of new owners of it to pick up more games and to have new experiences, which is what we want at the end of the day. By the beginning of next year, expect a lot of these channels that were spending a lot of their time spinning narratives and dooming and glooming Nintendo to start to slow down. You're going to start to see them pivot to either absolute lies, which some of them have already begun, or they're going to start finding something else to grift about, because again, people are picking up the console, they're experiencing it for themselves, they're comparing it to what they've been hearing, and it's just not lining up. The experiences that they're having, the games that they're playing, the amount of games that they have to choose from. I mean, in my opinion, this is the golden era of Nintendo. I haven't had this many games to play at one given time of such high quality on top of the third-party support for as long as I've been gaming on Nintendo systems. It really is a great time to be playing this thing. And the prices for a lot of these other systems, even these PC handhelds, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 is insane. We got Xboxes that are $800, PS5s that are damn near the same price. Meanwhile, there's barely any real exclusives to play on those devices. You can only fearmonger and make up lies for so long until enough people are experiencing the console in real life, seeing the data released from Nintendo, playing the games, and coming to their own conclusions. They're not going to want to tune in anymore. And at this point, I feel like a lot of people are starting to wake up to the grift, starting to kind of see what's going on. And the conversation is definitely shifting. The more people that get access and their hands onto the console are starting to scratch their head as to why everyone was so angry angry in the first place, especially again when you're comparing it to anything and everything else in the industry at this point. You guys are really starting to lose it. I can agree that $80 games are not the most exciting thing in the world, and you might not be a big fan of game key cards. Those are fine and fair criticisms to have. Go right ahead. But once you start making things up and sensationalizing BS headlines for clicks, yeah, I'm tapping out. And the more exaggerated that the thumbnails get, and the more bold letters that they got to use in the headlines to make it seem like things are going horribly for Nintendo. Look at how many consoles are on the shelf. That's how you know it's not selling. And that's why ship versus sold is so important. Well, you know what? People are buying the console. You don't get to becoming the fastest selling console ever because people are not picking up the console on these store shelves. That just doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting a little old, but it doesn't even matter anymore because the amount of games that I have to play, immense. The amount of enjoyment that's here, fantastic. And I just can't wait to get my hands on more of these games that are coming out this year. And the Switch 2 coming out right now was the absolute best thing that could have happened to the industry, and I'm glad that we're here. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know, what games are you playing on your Switch 2? Have you recently picked one up? If so, what are you playing? Let me know in the comment section below. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace out. I've been sick all week. That's why my voice sounds like this. I'm not gonna lie.